We had a trophyless season in our first season as the Brighton's manager. We actually have a squad that is young and full of potential, but there is something lacking in this team. And what I'm going to do today is I will try my best to address all of this problematic area in today's transfer special episode. So sit back, relax, enjoy, maybe get some snack as this might be a long episode. Roll on the intro. All right, guys. So it is the 12th of June right now. And you know what? If the season is to be starting today, right, I think these are the players that will be in my starting lineup. All right. So when you look at this lineup here right now, right, you can actually see there's some position which don't have a player in. These are the positions that I think need improvement for this season. All right. So let's talk about that later on. And let's talk about the players that we have in the team currently. Right, so Sergio Gomez, right, is the player that we actually got on loan deal from Manchester City during the winter transfer window, during the January transfer window. All right, so we have an optional feature fee of 3.2 million, set with Manchester City, and I think I will be triggering it. But before that, let's talk to the player's agent. All right, so currently, in Manchester City, he's being paid 2.08 million per year. All right, so let's have a look at what their demand is going to be. All right, so they currently want a wage of between 2.65 to 3.26. To be honest, is actually a little bit higher, I would say. And he actually would like to play as a left winger with an inverted winger role, which I don't think I'll be doing that. All right, so let's see if we can actually make the wage demand to be lower. So they have actually, agreed to go above, in between 2.38 million to 2.93, which I think should be good enough. All right. So when we look at this, right, last season he actually played quite well for us when he came in, through the loan deal. 7.06, average rating, 6 assists, 2 goals, 8 goal contribution with one man of the match in only 15 appearances. He is good enough to be our starting left back. So you know what? Let's just make an offer of a 3.2 million. I think 3.2 million is super cheap for this caliber of a player. I'm going to make an offer, and later on we will see what is their wage demand going to be like. All right, so Luis Dang, I think he is good enough to be our left center back. He really has good, mental, and he is one of the longest serving player. And I don't want to anger the Brighton player by selling him off. So, his physicals are not dropping really rapidly right now. He loves big matches. He's a super consistent player. He's homegrown in club. These types of player are really, really important to be in the team. All right, he's our captain basically, and I think he is good enough to start as our left center back for now. Okay, so our main objective for this transfer window is going to be getting a first choice goalkeeper. Jason Steele, to be honest, he was quite good for us. 6.93 average rating in the Premier League. Okay, and overall he actually got an average rating of 6.85. Amazing. But to be honest, next season we are going to be playing in Champions League, and I don't think he's good enough to be playing in the Champions League. So a first choice goalkeeper needed in this transfer window. All right, so we do need a right centre back as well. We were playing Adam Webster, the likes of Weltman, Van Hack in that position last season. All right, Van Hack is going to be leaving to Napoli, and we are left with Adam Webster and Weltman right now. So Weltman and Adam Webster, I think they are good enough to be as our backup. All right, when we look at the Weltman as well, I'm training him to play as a ball playing defender on the right hand side as well. Okay, I don't think he's going to be good enough next season to be playing as our right back. His physical have already started dropping. So yeah, and with Wellman, as I told you, he's going to be dropping down as a backup, as our centre back backup. I will be looking to sign a first choice right back as well. Okay, so a deep lying playmaker is really, really crucial for this stage. We are going to be playing in Champions League. Last season, we were playing the likes of, Billy Gilmore, Adam Lallana, James Milner. He's already retired. Adam Lallana is also going to be retiring at the end of this season. Let's have a look. Where is Adam Lallana? Yeah, he's going to be retiring at the end of this season. So, yeah, he's 36 years old. We need some young players with good attributes, good ability, good potential to play in our first team. That is the thing that we really need. Upgrade the position. Okay, so these are the four positions that I will be actively looking for our first team. All right, for the backup, right? There is two positions that I'm really looking to, find a backup for. First one is going to be our central midfield position. All right, so Smith Rowe, if you look at this, he's going to be playing as our attacking midfielder. All right, as a shadow striker, he is really good. To play as a shadow striker when we look at his attributes. So yeah, I'm going to be using him in that position. Okay. All right. So we need a backup to Billy Gilmore, to comes in, off the bench, play well for us. That is the type of player that we need. So it could be a young player with a lot of potential that is slightly good enough, to be coming off the bench and at least make a difference, hopefully. All right. So that is the type of player that I'll be looking in. And we need a backup to Solly Marsh as well. So Solly Marsh last season, he was a bit hit and miss. If you look at his last 20 matches that he played, right, there were some games where he played really well, and there were some games where he just went missing. I'm not going to be selling him because he is also homegrown in club. Yeah, he's homegrown in club, so we need that in our European, registration. If you look at this, this player, he's only 29 years old, but he's already starting to drop off, on his attributes. So most probably, if we can find an upgrade better player than him, obviously he will be dropping down to be as our backup player. All right. So, but I do need one right winger. I'm not sure whether it's going to be a starting right winger or a backup to Solly Marsh. That is something that we will have to, talk later on when we find a suitable player. Okay. All right. So other than that, with the likes of Billy Gilmore is good enough to be as our central midfielder. He was playing really well for us last season. All right. I'm not sure what is going on with his development, but he still have a lot of potential for him to realize as well. Okay. I know his form doesn't look that great. His average rating doesn't look that great, but he actually make it up. If you look at this, in the Premier League, right, he actually had average rating of 6.96. So I think it's quite good enough. If we can find good players to surround him, to actually lift him up, I think he's going to be doing good as well. But who knows? If we can find a good central midfielder that is going to be better than Billy Gilmore, we can always replace him. Simple as that. Okay, so Enkiso, I think this season I will be starting him on the left hand side because Mitoma is going to be leaving. We will talk about that in a while. And Ansu Fati is we are actually having a little bit of a trouble to sign him. Where is he? All right, so I actually had a transfer fee agreed with Barcelona. I can't remember how much was it. I think it was about 50 million or something. But yeah, he had a lot of demands. I didn't even get to the stage of getting into the wage demand discussion and everything. Even the front page on the promises and everything, he actually walked away from the contract talk. So I will try again in another 1 more month. He's going to be with us until the end of June. So maybe in another 1 or 2 more weeks, I will try again to talk to him. If we can agree, to sign Ansu Fati, obviously he's going to be starting ahead of Enkiso. But if he doesn't, Enkiso, yeah, is actually good enough to be starting. If you look at this, playing as an inside forward, right, he has all the attributes that is needed, and he do have a 5-star potential as well. Last season, 13 goal contribution, 7.08 average rating in all of the competition. He was a good player for us. He's only 20 years old. I'm really looking forward, to see him develop this season as well. Evan Ferguson, not Everson. Evan Ferguson is actually good enough to be our starting striker. We have Marcos Leonardo behind him, playing as a backup. So I think for now, the striker's position is not really a big problem unless if we can find a player, that is going to be within our wage, our transfer budget, and yeah, we will see from there. This is transfer special. I can't really promise you guys who am I going to be selling and who am I not going to be selling. All right, so there are players that I'm really looking forward to be selling. The first such player is going to be Pascal. Pascal, I've actually transfer listed him, and let's see. There's been no offer or interest for him yet, but hopefully we are going to be able to sell him on and use the money that we get from him, to invest on another area. He's actually earning about 3.64, million per year. So yeah, I can't justify paying a 32 years old 3.64, million per year. Yeah. Last season he had a lot of problem with injury. He only had 11, appearances for us throughout the whole season, and I don't think I need him. Seriously. Okay, so Igor is also one of the players that I think I will be selling off as well. He's wanted by Leeds United, Juventus. So, his transfer value, I'm not sure what happened. He actually dropped off. We signed him last season. I did not sign him. It was actually through the game. He was actually signed for 14.5 million, but right now his transfer value is only 10.5. So we might get a little bit of a loss, from Igor here, but yeah, I think we should just take him off, from the club. We are paying him 2.6 million. I would rather sign other player that can actually, play better than him. Simple as that. Okay, so Jacob Modo is also one of the player that I will be looking to sell. Last season, as you guys know, he actually had about in the real life, he actually had about 18 months of injury, if I'm not mistaken, about 2 years. So last season when he came off, when he came back from his injury, he played for us, but he was not good enough. He can actually play as a central midfielder, but I think we are going to be able to get better players. Yeah, if we find. Okay, all right. Okay, so Mitoma, like I mentioned to you guys, he might be leaving us. He is currently on bid by Real Madrid. It's going to be a 50 million transfer value. He wanted to leave. I actually don't want to sell him. He was really good for us last season. He played really well. 12 goal contribution in the Premier League, but in the whole competition, right? In all of the competition, 21 goal contribution by this boy. But he wants to leave. He actually requested for a transfer, so I'm gonna be selling him on. He's 27 years old. We are paying him only 1.04 million. He really is a good player, but he wants to leave, and 50 million is a really, really large amount of money, guys. We can actually use that to sign a lot of young players. Okay, so that is what I'm going to be looking to do over here right now in this transfer window. So Simon Andriga, right, he was our backup player. Last season he was actually playing on the right hand side more often. We were playing him as an inside forward. All right. If you look at his current ability, right, he's a decent Premier League player, but I don't think this season, with me actively looking for a right winger, right, and we do even have Facundo, in the team that can actually play as a right winger. So I have actually listed him on a loan, and I hope that he will be able to get a club in the Premier League, and hopefully he will get more game time that will actually help him to grow to a better player. He's a good player, whenever he played for us, whenever he came off the bench for us, he never had a he never had a problematic performance, I would say. That is what I would say. But yeah, I'll be looking him to send him on a loan, and I think Bud Verbruggen is also one of the players that I will be looking to send on loan as well. All right, so with me looking for a first choice goalkeeper, right, but I do want Jason still in the team, to be our backup goalkeeper. He is good enough to be a backup. All right, so, with that, right, I don't think I'll be able to, justify keeping Bart in the team. He have a lot of potential, so I don't wanna hinder his development as a player. So I'm gonna be, looking to, send him on a loan. So you know what? That is what I'm gonna do. Available for loan. Let's see if there's any club that is going to be interested to loan him. So when we look at this, there's active interest from Nice, that is looking to loan him out as well. They're looking to generate funds before making an offer, as they currently lack the financial power to do so. All right, so give me an offer. We will talk about it. If you can actually, promise me that he's going to be a first choice goalkeeper, I don't think I'll be looking to get 100% of the wage from him. Okay, guys. So I've actually already working on some transfers. Transfer in especially. So the first player is going to be Coop Miners. So if we manage to sign this boy, right? If we can manage to sign this player, right? He will solve our defensive midfielder, our deep lying playmaker position. Okay, but the problem is, we have actually agreed 49 million, transfer value with Atlanta. Okay, which I'm okay to be paying. It is an initial fee of 26.5, and there's a little bit of installment and some add-ons in there. Okay, and we have actually offered him a very huge contract, 8.48 million per year. But the problem is Manchester United have also bid on him. They have actually bid 45 million transfer value, and I'm not sure whether they have already send in a contract to him or not. I think most probably they have. Okay, so as you guys know, Manchester United obviously they have a better reputation than us. And look at the clubs that are interested in him. So I'm not really sure whether we are going to be able to sign him or not, but we will just have to see in time. But if we can go against all odds and sign him, he will solve our defensive midfielder position. All right, so that is going to be one position just ticked off early on in this transfer special episode. All right, so Sergio Gomez, we have already talked about that, and I've actually made an inquiry on Nicholas Hedel. All right, so as you guys know, in Football Manager 23, he was one of the best, goalkeeper with a lot of potential and everything like that. And even in Football Manager 24, he looks really good. Okay, so when we look at him, right, although he's only a two-star current ability player, but when you compare him to Jason Steele, he is already better than Jason Steele in a lot of the area. Except for the speed part and the mental, he's only 23 years old. A lot of potential for him to realize. But when it comes to the short spots stopping, He's already at the same level to Jason Steele. He's better in distribution, aerial ability, his communication, physical ability. So I think if we can actually manage to sign him, right, when we look at his transfer value, only 5.2 million, to 6.6. I've made an inquiry, but I've not got, a reply back from Rapid Vienna. So hopefully they will be, sending in an offer for me to look at. And I'm really looking forward to signing him. All right, guys, so let's have a look at Sergio Gomez and see what do he want. All right, so like he mentioned earlier, he want to play as a attacking midfielder on the left hand side. I don't think I should be doing that. He just want to be a squad player, which is great for us. I'm just gonna suggest the promise, and he have agreed. Look at the patience of the agents, guys. I don't think we can do a lot of wheeling and dealing against this agent. I don't want to piss him off because Sergio Gomez is a player that I really want to sign to this team. All right, so he won a 2.74 million of a wage demand, and I think it's quite good, to be honest. Can we, what? Looking at the patient level of the agent, right? Okay, so he won 3.15 right now. Wait. Oh yeah, because I've actually throw on the I've actually removed the you know I think it was the yearly wage rise that I removed just now. So he have actually agreed for a 2.96 million contract, 4 years contract, and I think it is a good deal to be done. I'm gonna finalize the deal, exit the talk, and hopefully he will sign on with us as a permanent player for next season. Alright, so Rapid Vienna have actually dismissed our inquiry. They don't want to sell him to us. But you know what? I'm just gonna make an offer and see. Alright, so he's actually valued at about 5.2 to 6.6. So you know what? As early as the first offer, right, I'm gonna offer of 6 million, to Rapid Vienna and see what do they say. So they want about 7.750 million, all right, which I'm actually okay to be paying. So I'm just gonna remove this percentage of profit from the net sales, and I'm just gonna pay them this. It's gonna be 1.2 million after 50 games, after 50 leagues appearances for us, and per league appearances they want 60K. So it's gonna be about a total of 600K, and I think it is good enough. You know what? I'm just gonna take this off and just pay them an initial 6.5 million. I think it should be okay. Yeah. So they've actually agreed to an offer to Nicholas Hedel, and let's see if we can actually sign him on. So he actually want to become as our backup goalkeeper, which I don't mind. I will be looking to either starting, but most probably I think early on the season I will be starting Nicholas Hedel, as our first choice goalkeeper. But if he wants to become a backup, I don't mind at all. All right, so I'm gonna be trying to get a contract length of 5 years. I'm gonna lock that in. Yearly wage, right? I'm gonna be taking it off 1.5 million. Let's suggest the term first. 1.65 million, for a 23 years old goalkeeper, with a 5 years contract. I think is really, really good. He is going to be a very important player for us, for the throughout of the series. So I'm just going to finalize the deal, exit the talk. And obviously, I don't want to loan back him to you guys. Seriously, guys? Okay, so with that sort out, right, I think right, we can actually offer him out and see if there's anyone that is going to be looking to get him on a loan deal. Let's see. I'm just gonna offer him out. Let's hit continue and see if there's any offer for Bud Verbruggen. Alright guys, so Fulham have actually made an offer for Julia and Kiso. So they are actually offering about up to 39 million for this player, and he's a player that I'm actually looking to play as our first choice left winger. I'm just gonna reject the offer. I'm not gonna be selling him on. Seriously? Alright, so we actually have some offer for Ego, from Leeds United and Juventus. Both of the clubs have actually offered 10.25 million, and I will try to make it, at least to 14 million. Is it possible? Let's try to negotiate and see if they can actually agree up to 14 million. I'm going to suggest the term. And Lead have actually agreed. So I'm just going to accept the offer. All right. And for Juventus, oh, sorry, this is not Juventus. This is Leeds offer again. So for Juventus, right, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to bring it up to 14 million and see if they are going to match Leeds offer as well. Let's do that. Okay. So they have also, agreed to 14 million. I know we signed him for 14.5 million, I think. But his transfer value was at a maximum of 14 million. So I think 14 million a loss of 500k, right? It's not that bad of a loss. We will get to, get rid of him, and yeah, reduce the wage budget to 2.6 million that we can actually use to sign other players. Manchester United have made an offer for Adam Webster. It's going to be a potential value of 45 million. It's going to be an upfront fee of 20.5 million. There's going to be an installment, of 12 monthly. It's going to be a 3 years installment of 20.5 million as well. And after 50 leagues appearances, it's going to be 4.2 million. And what's the worst part? My client may be unsettled if he's not allowed to speak to Manchester United. I actually don't want to lose him. He's a good backup to our player, with the leadership that he has and everything. So, I don't think either of us would agree against the fact that Manchester United are a bigger club. Obviously, I know that. Okay, so I'm very reluctant to let you go. What would it be? So he just wants to leave. All right, so I'm just gonna try to choose a transfer value that is a little bit higher, and he have actually put up a value of 57 million. Let's just confirm that. And I think, yeah, if Manchester United is gonna pay me 57 million for this 29 years old Adam Webster, I won't mind. I won't mind. Yeah, selling him on that value. So let's just offer him and see if Manchester United is gonna offer 57 million for this player. Yeah, 57 million. I won't be opposed to be selling him at all. Right, so Sunderland have actually made an offer, loan offer for Simon Adringa. I think it looks quite good, important player, striker, 50% wage percentage. I'm just gonna accept the offer. All right, and Gomez have actually been granted a work permit, and he is set to sign with us. So we are gonna have our first choice left back. I'm just gonna accept the offer, and left back position sorted. Okay, so on the left hand side, we actually have Sergio Gomez, our first choice striker, and Patrick Dorgu, as his left back, backup. So I think we are done on the left back position right now. Okay, so I'm actually looking at central midfielders that are transfer listed right now, and these are the players that I've actually scouted. Okay, so when I look at this, right, there's actually two players that are actually standing out a little bit. It's going to be Lokonga from Arsenal and Joe Willock from Newcastle United. Both of them are transfer listed, and let's have a look at Lokonga first. He can actually play as a central midfielder on support. So that is going to be really great for us because we are currently looking for a central midfielder who can actually compete with Billy Gilmore on that position. So what are we going to do? I think I'm just going to compare these two players first. Let's compare Lokonga and Gilmore. So when we look at the polygon right now, right, Lokonga is going to be a slight, only a slight upgrade when it comes to the defending, the mental ability and the aerial ability. So other than that, they are very, very similar player. So I'm not sure whether I should be signing him or not. Let's just discuss availability. Let's look at what are their demands going to be like. So he would want a wage of about 3.87 to 4.8. And I don't think, and I don't think I can actually justify myself to be paying him more salary than Billy Gilmore when both of them are very, very similar to each other. Okay, so let's have a look at Joe Willock and see what his demand is going to be like. So when we compare Joe Willock to Lokonga, right? Obviously, Joe Willock is better when it comes to going on attacking part. You know, his attacking ability, his vision, speed, and physicals are better than Lokonga. You know, Lokonga is only better than Willock when it comes to the defending, the mental, and the aerial ability. So let's compare Joe Willock to Gilmore and see how is he going to be like. So it's going to be almost the same. You know, Willock is better than Gilmore going forward, which is going to bode very, very good for us. But the problem is he's currently earning 4.16 million in Newcastle. So I'm not sure whether he's going to be, lowering his wage demand or not. So let's have a look. He would want about 3.88 million to 5.07. But if we sign Joe Willock right now, right, he will be starting over Billy Gilmore. So let's see if he's willing to lower down. It's about 3.3 to 4.31. Hmm. You know what? Let's just make an offer. You know, he's an English player. Let's just make an offer. So I'm gonna give them an initial offer of 10 million with an installment deal there. They want 29 million, right? So let's just make 20 million. So we put up a offer of 30 million and see what Newcastle has to stay. They they want a profit percentage. Nope. I'm gonna remove that and suggest again. They really want a 20% profit from next sales. You know what? Let's just accept the demand and see, okay, what kind of contract demand he's going to be looking for us. So he would want to play as our regular starter. I'm going to try to lower it down to, a squad player. He wants a minimum fee release clause. I'm going to remove that and see. Okay, he actually agrees to be our squad player. He won an average a wage of 3.66 million. I'm gonna make it into a 5 years deal and try to lower it down all the way to 3.01 million. He still want 3.66. 3.1? Nope, 3.66. Come on, 3.22. He's really, stuck on the 3.66 right now. And I'm slowly increasing my offer. Okay, so he really wants 3.66. You know what? I'm just gonna finalize the deal first. But in the meantime, right, I will be looking for more players, right now. So let's just remove the transfer listed, and let's have a look at the players that are currently available. Okay, so Jude Bellingham, obviously he's not gonna be. Let's see who is interested in signing with us first. Matt O'Reilly. Oh, wow. 4-star current ability with a 4-star potential. And he looks quite good. Okay, he's from Fulham, and is he? Yeah, he's actually homegrown in nation as well. So that is going to be really great for us, when it comes to the the Champions League squad registration. He's wanted by Manchester United, AC Milan, Napoli, Atletico Madrid, and Barcelona as well. So there's a lot of teams that are really looking to sign him as well. But I think, right, if I sign this guy, I'm not going to be playing him as a central midfielder. I will be looking to play him as a box to box midfielder. He's a very well-rounded midfielder. If you have a look at him, 23 years old. He have actually to be honest, he have actually already you know um, see his up see up his potential already right now. And let's compare him to Joe Willock. Joe Willock in a way is still better than him. Okay, when we look at their polygon. All right, so should we try to just make an effort, just make an offer at him and just see what their demand is going to be like. He loves big matches. He's very consistent. Let's just do that, right? Let's just talk to the agent and see. They would want about 2.5 million. He want a long-term contract until 2029, which is great. I think it's about 5 years contract. Okay, so Celtic would want about 20 to 30 million to make a deal possible. It's almost the same as Joe Willock. All right, so he would want to play as a central midfielder with a central midfielder role. Okay, so let's see if he's going to lower down. Yeah, he have actually already agreed to lower down his wage demand. So now I'm actually having a dilemma. Should I be signing him or Joe Willock? I think let's just make an offer, right? Let's just make an offer and see. So, okay. I'm not sure who actually tried to make an offer over here. So let's just suggest. Okay, so they would want a better offer, right? An offer will need to be submitted for further consideration. Okay, so I'm just gonna increase it a little bit to 20 million. Okay, so per league appearances, let's make it 600k. Make an offer. All right, so let's see if they are gonna accept the transfer offer or not. We have Oscar Gulak. Okay, Oscar, is it Oscar Gulak or Oscar Glock? All right, so this boy is actually a very good attacking midfielder, but the problem is I'm really not looking for an attacking midfielder right now. But yeah, he looks really, really good. He have a five-star potential ability, three-star current ability, only 20 years old, a very low transfer value, very low salary as well that Red Bull Salzburg's paying to him right now. Okay, but I'm not going to be able to play him as central midfielder because of his tackling ability. But let's just see, whether Matt O'Reilly or Joe Willock, I will have to look around and see who we are going to be signing. Look at this, Andre is also available. He is actually a very good deep lying playmaker. If Cook Miners, transfer doesn't go through, right? I think most probably I'll be trying to look for, try to look to sign Andre. I think he's going to be a good inclusion in the team as well, right? Okay, guys, so we have a few offers for Jacob Model over here. It has been some offers from Sheffield United, Southampton, and Sunderland. So right now, when I look at it, Southampton and Sheffield United have almost the same amount of transfer offer put in. So let's try to be cheeky because his transfer value is about 18.5 to 20 million, and they have only offered about 10.25 million. So let's just try to be cheeky and try to get a little bit more from them. I'm gonna make an initial transfer fee of 10 million and an installment of maybe about how about 4 million. Do you think they're gonna agree? I'm not sure whether they're gonna agree or not, but let's just see, right? Okay, and after 20 leagues appearances, right, I would want 4 million. You know what? I will give you guys a little bit a little bit leeway here. 30 games, after 30 games, 4 million, and I don't need a percentage profit. 18 million potential value, and Southampton have actually accepted it. Okay, all right, that is great. So I'm gonna try to do the same with Sheffield United and see whether they are gonna agree or not. All right, so it's gonna be I'm gonna try to go for 5 million here and try to increase a little bit more. Okay, and this is gonna be 1 million and make it 30 games on a 20 game. Okay, Sheffield United have accepted it yet. All right, and Sunderland have actually put up a non-negotiable. So I'm not going to negotiate at all. I'm just going to reject the offer, and let's see if we can get rid of Model. Seriously, I don't need this player in my team anymore. Okay, guys. So I was actually scouting the Brazilian national team, and I found this goalkeeper Lucas Perry, and he looks really really good. Look at his technical ability, his mental as a goalkeeper, and let's just compare him to Niklas Hedel and see who's better. When we look at the polygon here right now, it is way obvious that Lucas Perry is actually better than Niklas Hedel in every way. All right, so what is their demand is going to be like? He would be an excellent signing. Obviously, he's a 3.5 star current ability player. He have a little bit of potential for him to realize. You know what? Let's just talk to the agent and see what their demand is going to be like. So he would obviously want to be our first choice goalkeeper, and I think if we sign him, right, that is going to be okay. I'm going to be okay, and his team actually wants about 12.5 to 15 million to make a deal possible. And I think it's actually quite good. I'm going to try to lower down the wage demand. He have lowered down a little bit, and let's just make an offer. Okay, let's just make an offer and see. Okay, so the club have actually agreed a fee of 12.5 million. I'm going to finalize the offer. By the way, how much did we agree upon with Nicholas Hedel? Hey, there's a confirmation already. Nicholas Hedel have actually already agreed to join with us, and we are going to be signing him for about 7.75 million with a wage of 1.65. Okay, so let's have a look at the confirmation. By the way, look at this. I've actually been very busy, trying to scout all of the, the whole Brazilian national team, the English national team, and the Argentinian national team as well. So yeah, there's a lot of players scout report that I will actually have to go through later on. Okay, later on we will talk about this offer. And okay, so Nicholas Hadler actually want to join us already. And look at this, guys. There's a bad news. Scoop Miners have actually agreed a deal to join Manchester United. So I'll have to look for a defensive midfielder right now. Okay, so you know what? I think I'll just have to delay the transfer of Nicholas Hadler. Hopefully they are gonna agree. And let's talk to Lucas Perry first. Okay. So I'm just gonna start the negotiation. He wanna become an important player, and I think if I sign him, obviously he will be a first choice goalkeeper. He won 3.88. I'm gonna remove the sell on percentage fee, and he won a minimum release clause as well. I'm gonna take it off as well. I don't wanna have a release clause on this player because he's gonna be a really good goalkeeper, and it's really hard to sign goalkeeper in Football Manager. If I don't sign Nicholas Hedel, right, and he ended up leaving after 1 year, it's going to be a problem for me. 3.88. I think I'll try to lower it down to 3 million. Let's go. Let's play low ball. Go to 2.7, and he won 4.85. I can't really justify paying 4.85. He's going to be a really really good goalkeeper, but is he worth 4.85, 4.68? No, 4.16? No, he won 4.78 minimum. Now I actually have a dilemma here. Should I be finalizing this deal or not? You know what? I'm just gonna do that and let's see. I will think about it and let's see who we are gonna be, signing on later on. By the way, Richard Heftwood, he's a young player, 16 years old, promising midfielder that I actually found through the scouting, scout reports and everything. Like I mentioned to you guys, I actually scouted the English national team, the Brazilian and the Argentinian. He actually came up in my scout report, and look at this, he had a potential ability of 5 star, a current ability of 1.2 star, 1.2, 1.5 star. Okay, so this is just a punt for the future. We are only signing him at about for 550k, So let's just see. Who knows? He's gonna be, we just put him up in the under 18, and hopefully he's gonna grow to become a great midfielder for us in the future.